Around about a quarter of all of the incidents that happen on the road network, that's collisions, involve somebody who at the time was driving for work. Could be for themselves or it could be for their employer. And a staggering 95% of those collisions will be a result of driver error being the main contributory factor. Now that's worrying in one sense, but it's actually quite good in another, because it means that we can do something about it. So I'm Adrian, I'm a driver risk management consultant, and I promote safer driving in the workplace. And I do this because businesses have a legal duty under health and safety legislation to manage the risks associated with their driving activities. Now, if something were to go horribly wrong for one of their drivers and the business found themselves under investigation, amongst other things, they're going to be asked to demonstrate what they do with regards to driver training. Now, it could be argued that because somebody has a driving license that they are competent to drive. Now, this is probably not a wise assumption. So investing in some form of driver training is going to be a really good way to protect your staff, but also to be able to demonstrate the due diligence that would be required in any investigation. Now, a really cost-effective and indeed an efficient way of delivering training, particularly to large volumes of people, is going to be through some form of e-learning program. The idea behind e-learning is that it can be done at the individual's pace. You can dip in and out of the course until they're completed, and it's a great way to learn at the pace of the individual rather than attending a course, going away full of enthusiasm and then within a very short space of time forgetting things. So we've developed a suite of courses. I'm going to give you a couple of examples in a few moments, but just to demonstrate how we're trying to replicate us being in the room with the individuals, but at the same time, how can we replace that element when we're out and about in the vehicles doing one-to-one coaching. So I hope you find this next few moments a good example of how we can get audiences to engage in driver training. Now, earlier on in this module, you probably remember me talking about 95% of collisions have driver error as the main contributory factor. So I thought it useful if we devote this final module to looking at safe and fuel efficient driving. And what this is about, it's developing a defensive driving strategy, one that seeks to make you proactive rather than reactive. And what we mean by that is, if you can imagine you're driving down a road and there's a road parked cars down both sides. Now, a proactive driver is going to be looking for the possibility of people stepping out, doors opening, cars coming from side roads, etc. Whereas a reactive driver is going to drive down the road not thinking about this and then trying to deal with it when it happens, and very often it's too late. So what are we going to be doing next? Well, I'm going to go out on a variety of roads, motorways, dual carriageways, urban environments and rural roads. And I'm going to be using a technique called commentary driving. Now, commentary driving is quite straightforward, to be fair. It's just saying out aloud what we see. Now, as I come down into the one-way system, one of the what-ifs is going to be, what if there's a queue of traffic? I can see that the road ahead is clear. What if those pedestrians on the right-hand side step out in front of me? They haven't done. What if those people crossing the road have pressed the button and they do change to red? I'm holding back with my speed. I've got my brake lights showing to the driver behind me, just in case. I've released the brake pressure and I'm now safe to continue. So we're on National Speed Limit Road. Remember, we're restricted to 50 miles per hour in this van. We've got sharp bends ahead. I know it's a sharp bend because I can see the chevron boards. The amount of tarmac between me and the road ahead is decreasing, so therefore my speed is. I'm coming down into third gear. The tarmac is still reducing, so therefore my speed is continually coming down. I'm beginning to see the tarmac opening up, so I can release the foot brake. I can breathe on the accelerator just to power me round at a nice, safe, constant speed. Now, I just want to check that I've got a safe following distance between me and the vehicle in front. So I'm going to time 2 seconds. I'm going to say a phrase that takes 2 seconds. I'm going to use the pedestrian bridge as a guide. So as the vehicle goes under the bridge, I'm going to say only a fool breaks the 2-second rule. And as you can see, I haven't arrived at the bridge. I've been able to say that phrase. That means I'm at least 2 seconds behind the vehicle in front of me. Of course, you would need to double that in the wet. Heavy goods vehicle ahead of me. It appears to have a foreign license plate. Always very aware that drivers who are sitting on the left-hand side of the cab have a poor field of view. What if he overtakes the tanker that's in front of me? So I'm just holding back at the moment until the vehicle ahead of the tanker gives me sufficient space. The option isn't there to use the right-hand lane at the moment. So just holding back with the overtake. Right, I'm happy now that I can proceed. A little bit of power, and I'm going to go past the heavy goods vehicle first. So what we've just demonstrated here is the delivery style of the e-learning that we have. And as you can see from the in-car commentary session that you've just seen a very, very short snippet of, how we can provide the drivers with the knowledge as if we were in the vehicle with them. Once the course is completed, the students will undertake a quiz. It's got a pass mark of around about 75%. And the idea behind this is that it validates learning, and it also acts as evidence that that driver has undertaken the training. So I hope you found this short demonstration of use and how we plan to use e-learning within the driver training arena.